Jays 7-3.
All right, so it is game 2, and we're moments away from the first pitch here in Toronto. It is getting loud, and we can't wait to bring it to you with Springer and Yamamoto and all the stars on these two teams. Dodgers, Blue Jays, game 2 from Toronto, coming your way next.
Yeah. We them boys. Holla, we making noise. Holla, we them boys.
Beautiful night in downtown Toronto. We get set for game 2 of this World Series, Dodgers and Blue Jays. And now let's send it over to the Blue Jays public address announcer, Tim Langton.
Good evening. Welcome to Rogers Center, home of your Toronto Blue Jays. We ask you now to please remove your hats and stand if you're able. Tonight's ceremonial flag party is from His Majesty's Canadian ship York from Toronto. With us this evening to perform the American national anthem, multiple Diamond certified singer-songwriter Bebe Rexha.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. And the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free? And the
With us to carry our Canadian flag are 230 members of our Canadian Armed Forces. Now, from Brampton, Ontario, please welcome Grammy and Juno award-winning singer-songwriter Alicia Cara to perform the Canadian national anthem.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north, strong and free. From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God, keep our land glorious and free. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh stand on God for me.
It's been 32 years since the last World Series game here in Toronto. This year, this team just kept finding a way, and now they're one of the last two teams standing. 4 more wins is what they want as they try to bring a World Series championship back to Canada. The roof is closed and the place is packed in downtown Toronto. It is gone! Varsho has brought this crowd to its feet. Jump. The crowd is up on their feet.
It is absolutely electric in here.
Here's Addison Barger to hit for Davis Schneider. And a chance potentially to blow it open.
You just can't stop them right now.
Mission accomplished here in Game 1. Well, what a way to start the World Series. What a Game 1 for the Blue Jays as they beat the Dodgers 11-4, hitting 3 big home runs and winning Game 1. And this crowd is full of anticipation for Game 2. Can they take a 2-0 lead going out to L.A. over the favored Dodgers? Don't tell John Schneider the Dodgers are favored. This team believes they can beat anybody on any given day, and they proved that last night. Vladimir Guerrero Jr., remember him saying 4 more before this series began. Now it's down to 3. And how about this? A little drone cam action coming into Rogers Center. This is live as it makes its way into the Rogers Center right now, up over the infield. And you will see the bird's eye view as Guerrero leads the defense onto the field. In Gauze, they trust tonight. Kevin Gausman is moments away from making his World Series debut. Shohei Ohtani will lead it off as always for the Dodgers. Hit a home run late in the game, but the issue had long been decided by that point. Freddie Freeman's been on base in all 11 games, but he's only driven in 1 run in those 11 games here in October. Obviously, Ohtani, Betts, Freeman, 3 future Hall of Famers, a lot of power in the middle of the lineup. The Dodgers, Dave Roberts hoping to get a little bit more from 8 and 9, get some traffic going at the bottom of the order. Kevin Gausman is 34. Kevin Gausman wears number 34 in honor and in memory of the late Roy Halladay. And after all of these years in the big leagues, Buck, this is the first time Kevin Gausman steps on a mound in the World Series.
Yeah, this is his 13th postseason game, his 7th postseason start, but his first start in a World Series game. He was kind of slated to start Game 1, but he told his manager, you know what, I'm not 100%, and I don't want to go to the mound and shortchange my teammates, so put me in Game 2. He is ready to go on regular rest tonight. He's pitched into the 6th inning in all 3 of his postseason starts, and he's really thrown the ball well. He's picked up 1 win as a starter, and he won Game 7, pitching out of the bullpen, pitched the 7th inning of that game when the Blue Jays beat the Mariners in Game 7. He is locked and loaded for this game tonight. He is really focused on this. This is something that he's been thinking about a long time. He wants to pitch his team a little bit deeper into this World Series.
He pitched many a game in his backyard growing up as a kid, thinking about being on the mound in the World Series. And he is realizing that dream here tonight and trying to give his team a 2-0 lead heading west. Ohtani to lead it off again. He went 1 for 4 with that late home run against Braden Fisher last night. He is 2 for 12 with 6 strikeouts in his career against Kevin Gausman. Everybody standing here at the ballpark. The home plate umpire tonight is Adrian Johnson, who says it's time to play ball. And a first pitch fastball catches the corner. It's 0-1.
A couple of things to really note here early in the ball game. Check out Kevin Gausman's velocity. It's been really good. Late in September into the postseason, he's averaged about 95 miles an hour with that heater.
And he drills in another fastball. It's 0-2. Ohtani wants to use his timeout. Gausman sets and deals. And it's hit down the left field line towards the corner. And making the catch is Nathan Lucas, 1 down.
Let's take a look at the defense. This is a real strength of this Blue Jays ball club. They've only committed 4 errors in the postseason. Nathan Lucas is a terrific defender with a strong arm. Dalton Varsho won a Gold Glove last year, and Addison Barger has really made some dramatic improvements in right. It's Clement Jimenez, Kiner Falefa, and Vladdy Guerrero. 3 Gold Glovers on the infield, and a Gold Glove finalist behind the plate, and Alejandro Kirk.
So you'll notice no Bo Bichette in the lineup tonight is available to pinch hit. Mookie Betts, the batter. Betts went 1 for 4 last night, and nobody in this lineup has seen Kevin Gausman as often as Mookie Betts has. He has had a ton of action against him. 16 for 51, a .314 average. Boy, how about these low fastballs for strikes early tonight from Gausman?
Yeah, I mean, Gausman, he's faced the Dodgers a lot. He was in San Francisco playing for the Giants for 2 years in 20 and 21. Had a great year in 2021.
And he was also an Oriole when Betts was with the Red Sox. And a slider on the corner, and it's 1-2. Dave Roberts, of course, was managing the Dodgers when Gausman was with the Giants. He is very familiar with them. Another slider taken outside.
And Kevin, in his last start, he had a terrific fastball. He threw a lot of 4-seamers. His fastball averaged just over 94 miles an hour in that start against Seattle in Game 5.
This one lifted to right field. Barger tracking it. And he's got it. 2 down. Couple of fly ball outs for Gausman to begin the night. Wants a new baseball as he gets ready to face Freddie Freeman.
Kevin beat the Yankees in Game 1 of the division series, and then he pitched a good game against the Mariners, but lost that one 3-1, and had another good start against the Mariners in Game 5, left with a 2-1 lead.
The first splitter of the night from Gausman, and it's down and away, ball 1 to Freeman, who is just 1 for 9 in his career against Gausman. And didn't get the call there. Called low by Adrian Johnson, 2-0. And you can see Gausman kind of looking in a little bit longer to the plate, maybe waiting for Johnson to tell him, was it low? Was it inside? Max Scherzer, Bo Bichette among the very interested observers in that third base dugout. It's all even up now, I guess. 2-1.
Yeah, that was a good fastball downstairs, and that's something he has done the last year or so. He's throwing fastballs down and fastballs up, something he didn't do early in his career.
Good splitter there, straight down, and it's 2-2.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to watch how effective that splitter is, because Trey Savage, who also throws a splitter, didn't have a very good one last night. But that last one by Gosman was outstanding.
Out of play, another good spot for that split.
We talked to Dave Roberts before the game, and he talked about the difference between Savage's splitter and Gosman's splitter. Savage goes away from left-handed hitters, where Gosman's goes straight down.
And Yoshinobu Yamamoto has a very good splitter as well. Fastball popped up down the left field line, but it'll get out of play.
Yamamoto looks like he needs a secretary making notes for himself right before the start of this game. A terrific pitcher for a long time in Japan. This is his second year with the Dodgers, and he's coming off a complete game against Milwaukee.
Was very good in that start in the NLCS. Pitched in the World Series last year against the Yankees. Had a great regular season. Good battle here between these two. As it's fouled back by Freeman, as Gosman ran that one right in on his hands.
Now, Freddie Freeman, he's always been a guy that doesn't strike out an awful lot, but during the regular season, he struck out 128 times. There's a lot of swing and miss in this Dodger lineup.
Once again, the 2-2. And he hooks it down the right field line for a base hit all the way into the corner. And he got good wood on that splitter that was down and out of the zone. A terrific at bat by Freeman, and he's got a double.
Now, Freddie Freeman hit 39 doubles during the regular season, and there's that split finger grip, and you can see it travels down probably above low. But Freeman with 2 strikes couldn't afford to take it and hooks it down into the right field corner.
So a 2-out double, and here's the cleanup hitter, the catcher Will Smith, who went 1 for 3 with an RBI single last night. Out of play, off to the right.
Everybody knows Kevin Gosman's very aggressive, and there's going to be a lot of first pitch swings in this game tonight against Gosman. He likes to get ahead, whether it's with the fastball, splitter, or the slider. He'll throw all 3.
Coming into this outing tonight, 4 appearances in the postseason, 3 starts, and then that 1 inning, the 7th inning in Game 7 of the LCS. Up the middle, it's a base hit for Smith. Freeman will come around to score, and the Dodgers have an early run on the board.
Yeah, the Dodgers scored the first run in the 2nd inning last night. They added a 2nd run in the 3rd inning and took a 2-0 lead. Freddie Freeman had a terrific at-bat, a 2-out, 2-strike double into the corner, and that looked like a slider that Will Smith was able to stay on. Drives it right back up the middle, and with 2 outs, Freddie Freeman's going to score easily.
They're hitting some pretty good pitches. I mean, the splitter to Freeman was down, and that slider to Smith was off the corner and pretty far down in the zone, but they didn't get here by accident either. They've had a great year. They've got great hitters. 1-0 LA early, and here's Teoscar Hernandez. Who went 0 for 3 with a walk last night.
Those 2 swings by Freeman and Smith tell me Kevin has to change his level and pitch up more. They're staying down on his slider and his splitter. He's got to throw fastballs to the top of the strike zone. Keep him off that low pitch.
These 2 were teammates. Kevin Gosman's first year as a Blue Jay was Teoscar Hernandez's last year as a Blue Jay, 2022. Freeman and Ohtani, no doubt, talking about what they each saw in their Gosman at-bats. Tommy Edman listening in, trying to get some info for his. And Gausman trying to finish it right here. To retire the Dodgers in the top of the first, but they strike first. An early run. Take a look at John Schneider's lineup. Again, no Bo Bichette in there tonight, but there is Addison Barger. Remember, Barger didn't even start last night because a lefty was on the mound for the Dodgers, but of course he is in there tonight. The first ever pinch hit grand slam in World Series history. Nathan Lucas is starting again tonight, or is back in there as a starter tonight with a righty on the mound, and it's Isaiah Kiner-Falefa in there at second base with no Bichette in the lineup. Yoshinobu Yamamoto in his second year in the big leagues, an all-star this year for the Dodgers, and another very, very good pitcher.
He's outstanding. He was the opening day starter for the Dodgers in Japan against the Chicago Cubs way back on March 18th. He had such a great start to the season. He was the National League Pitcher of the Month in March and April. He's got 6 different pitches that he will use an awful lot, but his weapon, just like Gausman, is that wicked split-finger fastball.
And that looked like it was it right there, and it's at 92. It's a hard splitter. We could say this in every game this series. The Blue Jays have a real challenge on their hands no matter who the starting pitcher is for the Dodgers. They certainly met the challenge last night against Blake Snell. There's the curveball, another one of his big weapons, and quickly it is 0-2. First time Yamamoto has pitched against the Blue Jays. Didn't see them in the regular season either in the last 2 years. And it's high fastball.
In his last start against Milwaukee, he threw a complete game. It was the first complete game in the postseason since Justin Verlander in 2017. And he threw 111 pitches and 81 strikes. He was in the zone a lot. Another good splitter there, and you can see it's a lot harder than Kevin Gausman's split finger pitch. Dave Roberts told us before the game, he said Yamamoto's got a lot of weapons to get you out. He says the only concern I have if he starts to lose that split finger to the arm side, which means it would be late off the plate inside the right-handed hitters.
Fastball ripped into left field and all the way to the wall, and Springer is on his way to second and in there with a leadoff double. On an 0-2 pitch, Buck, he smoked that ball.
Jumped on the fastball and got the head out, and Georgia's had a heck of a postseason. Hits that ball on the inside part of the plate. He knows it's going to be extra bases, busts out of the box and gets to second base with a head-first slide. What a great start. You know, you said the Blue Jays had their hands full with another tough pitcher. I think the pitchers have their hands full with the tough Blue Jays lineup.
That's a very fair point you're making, and certainly Dave Roberts feels that way after seeing it firsthand last night. Nathan Lucas flares one into left, and it drops. Springer's going to be held. Lucas with a bloop single, and it's first and third, nobody out. And here comes Vladdy.
First baseman, number 27, Vladimir Guerrero Jr.
Overshadowed by some of the other hitting heroics last night, but Guerrero went 2 for 4 with a walk in the game, had some really good at-bats, and of course has had a magnificent October.
7 of the 9 Blue Jays in this lineup have at least 8 RBIs in the postseason. Vladdy has 12, and there's Big Vladdy. Vladdy Sr. here in attendance tonight.
Down and in. It's ball 2. Boy, batter after batter, they seem to come to the plate with so much confidence in their game plan, in executing their game plan. Swing and a miss over the top of a nasty split.
Bichette had a T-shirt on in the locker room today that had like 3-year-old Vladdy Guerrero in an Expo uniform holding his helmet high. We've all seen that picture. And underneath it said, "Born Ready."
The line that Vladdy gave a few days ago. That's a limited edition T-shirt that Bo is wearing. 2-2 now on Guerrero. Back-to-back splits for swings and misses there from Yamamoto.
Vladdy has 6 postseason home runs this year, and that is tied for the franchise record with Joe Carter, who threw out the first pitch, and Jose Bautista, who threw out a first pitch earlier in this postseason.
Springer doubled, Lucas singled. They're on the corners with nobody out. And the 2-2. Bounce to third, but foul. And right now, it feels like Yamamoto thinks the splitter is his best weapon against Guerrero.
Yeah, he's thrown several of them, and they've really had good movement down and into Vladdy, kind of like a two-seam fastball at that same velocity. I mean, he's been throwing it 92, 93 miles an hour.
He had the second lowest ERA in the National League. Only Paul Skeens was better. And Vladdy is doing well to get a piece of these good pitches from Yamamoto.
You have to hit that splitter just like a two-seam fastball. You have to try to get underneath it and just see if you can't get it in the air. Shohei Ohtani, he too's got a pretty good splitter, but it's not quite as hard as Yamamoto's.
Again the 2-2. And a swing and a miss. He went to the curveball, and he gets him for out number 1.
Well, a pretty good sequence of pitches there. He wore him out with that splitter on the inside part of the plate, and then gets on top of that curveball and throws a beauty. He's got 6 pitches that he will lean on, and that curveball is an effective pitch for him as well. He threw 27 curveballs against the Brewers in that complete game, the last start he made.
That's the first down, and now here's Alejandro Kirk, who had a great night last night. Kirk went 3 for 3 with a home run, 2 singles, and also drew a walk. Had 4 great plate appearances.
He's the 25th catcher to reach base 4 times in a World Series game.
The 1-0 from Yamamoto outside, ball 2.
The note that really got me was he's just the 4th catcher to reach base 4 times in a game 1 of the World Series, and the first since '77 when Thurman Munson got on base 4 times.
A great player, a guy you competed against many, many times back in your playing days. Fouled off, and it's 2-1.
Yeah, anytime you're mentioned in the same sentence with Thurman Munson, you've done some good things.
And Kirk did some good things last night. Remember, he had 3 home runs in the last 2 games of the regular season. And now he has added 4 home runs already in the postseason.
We go. Make eye contact.
And now Adrian Johnson is telling Yamamoto, you can't come set until Kirk is set in the box. The hitter has to be set in the box looking at the pitcher before the clock gets down to 8. 2-1 the count. Down to first, caught by Freeman on the fly. So Kirk lines out. The runners get back, 2 down.
Yeah, Alejandro sounded like he broke his bat. It might have been toward the end of the bat. It was a soft liner to Freddie Freeman, kind of a changeup. And that threw him off balance. See how it's just kind of a soft liner and he has to reach for it. Lucas gets back. Springer was down the line, but by the time Freddie Freeman recognized it, it was too late to make the throw.
So 2 down now. Can the Blue Jays take advantage of this threat here in the bottom of the first? The batter will be Dalton Varsho, who also homered last night. To me, this is a really interesting matchup. Yamamoto can throw the high fastball, but again, a lot of curveballs and a lot of splitters down. Varsho had exceptional numbers this year against off-speed pitches, changeups and splitters down in the zone. Fastball in, 2-0.
Yeah, that was a real good fastball. That's better than average fastball for him. He threw it 98 miles an hour and just missed the inside corner.
He averaged 95.4 during the regular season. So he's amped up. Tries a split. It's 3-0. Do you give Varsho the green light here?
Yeah, I would. I mean, he's pretty selective, and if he sees something down in the zone, obviously he can put a charge in it. He's got 10 RBIs in this postseason. He's gotten some big hits.
And a low strike call, 3-1. Threw him a 3-0 splitter.
It looked like he was taken all the way.
Yamamoto trying to pitch out of a jam here in the first inning. It's full.
Now there he went to Dong's weakness at up fastball. He got it in a pretty good spot, and it was 96. He's got a good fastball there in this game.
Springer started it with a double. Lucas with a base hit to move Springer to third. Yamamoto retired the next two, and now it's full on Varsho, so Lucas will be running from first. Here's the 3-2, and it's a curveball that froze him. For strike 3 called, and the Blue Jays come up empty. They get the first 2 men on here in the bottom of the first, but Yamamoto pitches out of it.
Earlier tonight, Boys and Girls Clubs of America National Youth of the Year, Jimena delivered the game ball to the mound. Major League Baseball, Boys and Girls Clubs of America. America needs kids, club kids, and club kids need you. George Springer. First pitch fastball from Yamamoto. Been a painful last week or so for George Springer, who last weekend in Seattle got drilled on the knee by a fastball. Now he gets hit up by the hand.
Wrist, yeah, but at least the deflection blow would be better than a direct, like just flat. I think that helps out. Not that you ever want to get hit, but the off the forearm, off the wrist type is better than just a straight blow.
Well, Johnny, talk about how nice a 1-2-3 inning is to sprinkle in as a pitcher in the postseason. How about 3 innings and the leadoff man on all 3?
Yeah, and that's anti what Yamamoto does best.
Lucas Takes a strike.
I mean, he's one of the best at getting leadoff hitters out at over 70% clip, and he does a great job in the 1, 2, 3 innings. He's way above league average in all of those categories, so he's facing a different team, though.
Lucas, who singled his first time, waves and misses at a high fastball. He only threw 3 fastballs over the first 2 innings. That's the fewest number of fastballs through 2 innings in his career. 17 splitters through 2 innings, the most in his career.
That's the combat aggressiveness of Toronto Blue Jays.
See if he goes with one here to the lefty on an 0-2, sticks with a fastball. Checking with Tom Verducci.
Yeah, how about this? One time through the lineup, Yamamoto has hit 14 different speeds, 24 miles apart with just 33 pitches. I mean, it's like listening to an oldies station, the greatest hits of the 70s, 80s, and 90s.
Got them all. Another 0-2 to Lucas. Check swing and a splitter. Ball 1.
Well, after he's dissected him with fastballs and split, he uses that slow breaking ball to really get. If you're trying to defend the hard split and fastball, the curveball messes with your timing. We saw him do it to Guerrero.
Take a look at Fox Foresight, powered by Google Cloud. Can the Jays get 5 runs in this game? When they do, they're 78-5 this year. At 9-1 inning yesterday. Thanks to Google Cloud for powering these insights. Built with Gemini. Lucas so tough with 2 strikes. Down this time on the high fastball. 4th K for Yamamoto. And now Vlad Jr. First time, got 3 swings and misses. That matched the high for an entire game in this postseason for Guerrero.
You better not throw him a split here. That's a great pitch.
Carter, why were you thinking that?
To great hitters, he's thinking along. Like, he knows how you got him out the first time. And if you think you can keep going to the well with that pitch, there is no chance that he wasn't going to make the adjustment. I thought that was a great first pitch.
Second to hold him to a single. First and third for the Blue Jays with 1 out.
He's just too good, and he's too locked in. And after that first at bat, he was like, okay, you showed me the kitchen sink, but what you hadn't showed me is a fastball in, and I'm going to pull my hands in and hit a frozen rope. Matter of fact, I hit it too hard because he ended up at first base.
Karam right to Kike Hernandez.
He's shaking his head, but that was a good pitch. I'm just saying, against great hitters, you really have to keep them off balance, and you have to not show them the same thing in quadrants too many times.
The Blue Jays are shouting for that baseball. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. has just passed John Olerud for the most hits in a single postseason in Blue Jays history. So a little keepsake. Another chance for the Blue Jays, and again it's on Kirk's plate. He was up in the same situation in the first inning, lined out. Yamamoto got out of that jam.
And I don't understand why teams are playing him so far up the middle. We've watched it, and I've watched too many times him hit a ball to right center on the ground for a hit.
Where he tried to go the first time. He was just caught by Freeman over there. Sends a high drive to center field that is plenty deep enough to tie up game 2. Here comes George Springer. It's 1-1. Alejandro Kirk gets it done. The Blue Jays have been leaning on Yamamoto from the start, and they finally break through.
Well, it was a painful run that Springer scored, but a one that tied the game up after getting hit by the pitch. And Yamamoto really hasn't thrown many bad pitches. That just goes to show you how tough the Toronto Blue Jays have been on him this far in this game.
Guerrero's at first, 2 away. Dalton Varsho takes the ball. The rest of the postseason's hitting .217. The Blue Jays are hitting .305. Easy one for Freddie Freeman, and that'll do it for the Blue Jays in the third, but they've tied it up on a sac fly from Kirk. So the Jonas Brothers with a special performance as we stand up to cancer here in Toronto. We got a pitcher's duel going. This is as good as it gets, huh? World Series ball game. It is tight with good pitching late into it. 9-1-2 coming up for the Dodgers. That means Shohei Ohtani's about to bat in this inning. Hope you guys are having a great weekend wherever you are. And I know this is your favorite kind of game too. You were looking forward to this matchup, and these pitchers have delivered.
Yeah, I just love the cat and mouse. When you got greatness on the mound, you got guys that are in rhythm, and then you got an offense that can strike at any time. And it's really that mind game that you have to play and execute at this time. Look, it's been perfectly played so far. We got a tie game, and each offense is looking for that one breakthrough swing or inning to turn it over to some leverage guys, because they want to shorten the game, especially the Dodgers do with the leverage bullpen.
And both bullpens set up pretty well, because yesterday's game was a blowout, so you didn't really have to have your top arms used. And Kevin Gausman's been leaning on that fastball more, so he's got that splitter more in his pocket than he normally does to this stage of the game.
This is the time you flip the script back. You start using that pitch now as you get later in the game. Look, when you throw a lot of splits, it takes a little bit out of your, I would say, your endurance, right? Your fastball suffers just a little bit, and he's been able to keep that in his back pocket. So now he has the ability, once the Dodgers are confused for 2 times through the lineup, to be able to use it now more like we've used to see him in this postseason.
2 hits allowed on the splitter all postseason. There are 134 of them thrown. Now the Dodgers starting rotation, the biggest reason they took off when they were sitting right around 500 over a 3-month stretch. They were in a fight in the division in early September. These guys got healthy. And with Ohtani, he didn't begin pitching until midseason, but they put it all together. It became what you envision when you invest $1.3 billion in your rotation. That was the biggest reason the Dodgers came into this World Series having won 24 of their last 30 games. Blake Snell did not have his stuff last night. Yoshinobu Yamamoto has found his tonight. Problem for the Dodgers is Kevin Gausman has been step for step. So here we go to the 6th inning. Game 2 is tied at 1. Andy Pages leads off. And shoots the first pitch into right field for Barger. 1 pitch, 1 out on a fastball. And now Ohtani.
Ohtani is still looking for that pitch middle in, and he's hit a fly ball to left and a fly and a pop-up to the third baseman, so I would think he's going to be super aggressive, and the first pitch he sees, middle to middle down.
Blue Jays knocked out a 60 home run hitter in the division series, and Aaron Judge, another in Cal Raleigh in the championship series. Now Ohtani with his 61 total this year, taking ball one. In his 8th season in the major leagues, doing things we've never seen done. Headed for a 3rd consecutive MVP. Babe Ruth and then some with his 2-way longevity. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Perfectly located. You're talking about 2 of the best teams from run scoring from the 6th inning on. Blue Jays were the best, and the Dodgers were 2nd. Most runs scored from the 6th inning on.
On the hands, foul ground, Clement and Kirk. Ernie Clement to get Ohtani. And so here is Kevin Gausman at 5 2/3, which is where 4 of his 6 postseason starts with the Blue Jays have ended.
Well, nobody in the pen, and he's got a different look, and 15 straight batters will do that for your manager to not give a reason to even get anybody up. So an impressive outing, and he knew he was going to have to be great. And when you go up against another great hot pitch, stay back, keep his hands back, and still hit that pitch.
Varsho tries to lay off, but couldn't on a first pitch cutter, and there's pitch number 6 in the arsenal that he's breaking out. Blue Jays do not have a base runner since a 1-out single from Guerrero in the 3rd. Against an offense that has been historically good. After a 23-pitch first inning, put his foot down. Here's his 1-1. Channel center. Betts is there. 3 up, 3 down again. That's 11 in a row retired by Yamamoto. Your turn, Kevin Gausman. Back after word from your local Fox station. And Matt Turner, who is the goalkeeper for the U.S. men's national team, is here to take in World Series Game 2, and the 2026 FIFA World Cup will be played in North America on Fox next summer. Toronto Stadium at Exhibition Place going to be one of the host venues for some of the matches. On to the 7th inning in a 1-1 game. Gausman to Freeman. A fly to center field, and he has just missed on a couple. 1 pitch, 1 out, and Kevin Gausman has finally broken through here in his 7th postseason start. First time he's pitched into the 7th inning.
0 for 14 on that 4-seam fastball, and that is what you call executing and really getting the Dodger hitters in between and now turning them into super aggressive early count hitters.
Who blinks first? 17 straight retired by Gausman. The Dodgers got their run. Back-to-back 2-out hits in the first inning. Freeman doubled. Will Smith, who comes up here, single. Toronto got their run and a sacrifice fly in the 3rd.
Hasn't thrown his slider much because he's been throwing his 4-seam fastball a lot. Look for that pitch as well.
Yeah, threw it 4 times in the first inning. Has not since. First one to Smith. Fastball inside. Who blinks? Same way or different question? Same question asked a different way. Who has that big swing? This has the kind of feel to it that could be one swing to decide it. On a 1-0 pitch. Smith takes a strike. 1-1.
So is that Smith or Schneider?
Yeah, hard to tell, right?
Who copied who? Schneider copied Smith.
He did. David Schneider, when his mechanics feel off, instead of grinding in the cage, just imitates other big league hitters, and Will Smith is the guy he's been doing lately. It'll be low, ball 2. Smith with a single in the first inning, has a hit in 6 consecutive games after missing a month with a hand injury. Simple swing of his, a short arm, simple swing, right back into it. Here's the 2-1. Ball 3. Not been too many of these counts.
No. He's got one of the best disciplined approaches, does Will Smith. Hitting 300 almost the entire year.
Came up in 2018. Ton of big swings through his career. excellent catchers, backbones of these pennant winners. Burke and Smith. The 3-2. High drive deep to left field. It's Smith with a big swing into the second deck. He's given the Dodgers the lead in the 7th. His first extra base hit of the postseason couldn't have come at a better time for L.A.
And one of the first pitch location mistakes for Gausman. You cannot miss middle in, short arms, compact swing, loves that pitch inside, and he leaked his fastball for the first time in the wrong area.
Dodgers had not had a base runner since the first inning, then bang! 2-1 LA as they try to tie this series up. A strike called on Teoscar Hernandez. It had been nothing but singles. Been a bunch of them for Will Smith, but there's the pop. Teams that out-homer their opponent in this postseason are 25-5. And the Dodgers are the first big fly of Game 2.
Now, when we see this replay, it won't be exactly in the low part, but he's hitting 488 on fastballs in that general area.
Louis Varland getting ready. First scoring in either pen we've seen tonight.
Well, that ball's supposed to be away. See how it leaks in and just almost to the belt inside. Lit up when he hit it, and he knew it.
Normally stoic Dodger catcher. Any bit of fire and emotion you've got hidden under there is going to come to the surface in October. Gausman's 1-2.
Oh, no.
That reaction right there would cause me to throw another one. Another split finger. He reacted really anxiously at a pitch that was way outside the strike zone.
No matter what you throw, it shouldn't be in the strike zone in this guy.
Correct.
It's time to break out that slider we haven't seen since early. There's another splitter to get him.
I mean, there was just no way to throw anything else. As jumpy as he was on that previous pitch, that's what you got to watch. You see that, and you go, he's trying to get the fastball. Don't give him anything close. Splitter wasn't even close. This was actually worse than the pitch before.
Got Hernandez to expand for his 6th strikeout of the game. Yeah, and he's gotten Hernandez all 3 times on splitters. 2-1, 2 out, and Max Muncy. And Max Muncy was shouting something there as Gausman got into his delivery. Didn't want to take his eyes off Gausman, though. And frustrated with Adrian Johnson. I don't know if he thought Gausman came at him too early, if he wasn't quite ready. Pitcher's not supposed to begin the delivery until the hitter is locked in on him. Muncy 0 for 2 in this ball game, 1 for 6 in the World Series. Might have cost him a strike there, not catching that. 1-1.
Well, the interesting thing for the Dodgers, obviously Yamamoto can go as long as his manager wants him to go, but you have Sasaki available, and I would think multiple innings if needed because of the situation of the series and the score.
Yamamoto, constant stress in the early innings, but 3 straight 1-2-3 innings, and finally some backing from his offense.
He can stay stubborn with 3 in a row here, or he can climb the ladder belt high, make a fastball look like it's enticing. Max Muncy doesn't usually expand too often, but seeing slow, and then fastball might get him to do it.
fastball lifted in the air, deep left field. Lucas going back, opposite field bomb. Max Muncy with a second solo shot of the inning. The Dodgers riding the long ball to the lead in Game 2.
That pitch needed to be up, and it was down. And even though he was late, he's strong enough to hit the ball to all parts of the park. Watch where this pitch is. That pitch is that belt high. It needs to be up higher to get that above the barrel of the bat, and he goes the other way.
2 home runs from the Dodgers in the 7th inning, ending the longest postseason start from Kevin Gausman, who had not given up a base runner since the first. He gets a well-deserved hand. But right now, the story, the Dodgers try to get this series back to L.A. tied up, trying to defend their title. Well, over 100 local youth took part in a special World Series play ball event in Aurora, Ontario this morning, led by MLB play ball ambassador Coach Ballgame. Youngsters are joined by softball legend Jamie Finch and MLB alumni. You can go to playball.org to get more information as Tommy Edman flies out on the first pitch from Louis Varland, who's gotten 2 outs on 2 pitches.
He can do it 3 for 3 here, because you got to get on top of his fastball, and then he's got a wipeout slider. Even though he's only given up 8 hits, 4 of those have been homers, unfortunately, for Varland.
Bichette staying in the game at second base after pinch hitting for Connor Falefa. Strike on Pages. You know, in talking with the Dodgers the last couple days, they just seem like this bunch that has this belief, this unshakable belief, where it doesn't matter if it is a long layoff, it doesn't matter if it is a Game 1 beatdown. In Dave Roberts' words, we just don't care. We're winning this thing.
Yeah, and like I talked about,
roller up the middle, Pages has a base hit.
It started when they lost the first 2 games. When there was 2 games to 1, when they had to win those 2 games, when they were facing elimination and had to win those 2 games to get to the next level, they just said, I don't care about the noise, we don't care about anything, we're going to internally do this. And they did.
Yeah, it was the division series last year, down 2-1. Questions about Dave Roberts' job at that point.
That's right.
Otani fouls it off. They had to pitch a bullpen game just to keep their season alive. Yeah, trying to go to 20-5 in the 25 postseason games since that point. First defending champion that's made it back to the World Series since the Phillies in 2009. No team has repeated since the Yankees, 98-2000. Otani breaks his bat on a base hit to right. Back-to-back singles for Pages and Otani. Throw behind Pages, who almost got back-picked there by Barger.
Barger's got a cannon. If they got to know that. But it looks like he got back. I mean, this guy, 98 miles an hour, he can throw a ball.
Close.
Got back. Worth a challenge.
He might have kept his spot in the lineup by a half-inch right there. 94-mile-per-hour throw there. And now we get a quick word from Capital One.
What's been the highlight of your career?
And that'd have to be
Big guy.
I've always been passionate about no fees or minimums on checking accounts.
What's in your wallet?
Replay review is presented by Zoom. It was Otani that hit that ball, and then Barger's out there saying, hey, maybe I should be a two-way guy too. He's a pitcher in high school with this cannon of an arm. Strongest arm in the majors. He's touched 100. He averages 97.
Call the field is safe. Toronto has 1 challenge remaining.
To no avail, though. Dodgers are first and second with one away, looking for some insurance here with Mookie Betts coming up. Dave Roberts had an old coach who used to say in college, we want to make them listen to silence when they go on the road. So that was the goal for his team coming into these two games. I know you talk about keeping it to a dull roar. They wanted to make them listen to the silence. There was not much silence yesterday. For the first 6 innings today. The 2 home runs that have turned that track on. Track of silence. With a win, they take home field advantage in this best of 7. Series goes to LA after today. 3 games beginning on Monday night. Glasnow and Shohei Ohtani lined up for the next 2 for the Dodgers. Scherzer and Bieber for the Jays.
That's why with the Dodgers, I mean, the narratives change so fast. They don't change in their clubhouse. That's basically what Dave Roberts was saying. But around wait a minute, could this be? They got 4 studs that at any time they could pitch a gem. And that's what Toronto knew they were up against. So this is why this series, as I said from the beginning, is going to be way better than people think based on the dynamics of the pitching versus the hitting.
The 2-2 to bat. Taken outside, ball 3. There's the idea that this was a David against Goliath matchup.
Yeah, and it's not really.
Toronto's fine with that being the narrative, but you're right. It's just not true. They won more games than any team in the American League. Gone through one top pitching staff after another to get here. Betts takes the walk to load the bases. Top 5 payroll, too. It's not like they're a cheap spending team. So, yeah, the Dodgers are Goliath, but John Schneider's team is not David. Going to make a pitching change here with the bases loaded in the 8th. Freddie Freeman's coming up with a chance to break open game 2. Freddie Freeman coming up in the World Series with the bases loaded. What could go wrong for the other team? Rewarding Performance is sponsored by Capital One. It's the anniversary of the first walk-off Grand Slam in World Series history. Game 1 last year against the Yankees. The moment he's talked about is a life-changing moment for him. Trying to crack open game 2 after the Jays rolled in game 1. Jeff Hoffman's on to pitch.
Now, Freddie has just missed his last 2 fastballs he's seen.
In the dirt, kicks away. Here comes Pages. He'll score standing up. Wild pitch on the first one that Hoffman throws. And it's 4-1 LA.
Thought there for a minute might have hit him.
Yeah.
I think it did. Doesn't matter, but he would get first base if they reviewed it.
Infield in. 1-0 home. Jeff Hoffman faced the Dodgers back in August at Dodger Stadium. Faced 7 hitters. Walked 5 of them. This is a guy, if the Jays are going to win this series, and they're going to put him out intentionally here, so he gets first base one way or another. And if the Jays are going to have a chance in this series, Jeff Hoffman has to be a guy they can count on.
Yeah, he came in and was huge in Game 7 in the 9th inning, struck out 3 after pitching in Game 6, 2 innings.
Now Will Smith with the bases loaded, taking a strike. It was Smith's home run that broke the tie last inning. Mason Fluharty getting loose. Doesn't budge. The Blue Jays bullpen the last few days has gotten it going. 5 innings. They had to cover more of the game yesterday than the Dodgers pen did. Outperformed them. 5 innings, just 2 runs. Back to game 6. Sub-2 ERA. Bouncing ball is short. Couldn't get him out of the inning. There's one. Over the first, not in time. And a run comes to the back door. Ohtani in to score as Will Smith is safe at first. Jimenez could have come home to get a runner.
I'm not so sure that was the wisest decision when you're down 3 you got to be absolutely sure you can turn this. This is a long underhand toss, and that's just too long. The play would have been to come home for sure, but if he had a soft and an easier toss, watch how long this underhand toss is, and that's just not enough time for a guy who can run pretty good for a catcher.
So now it's 5-1. Will Smith is driven in 3. Doubles his total for the postseason.
The reason you got the infield in is because you're going to cut down the play at home. And if that would have been a one-hopper like Bullet, yeah.
Task Hernandez trying to avoid the World Series golden sombrero here. Struck out all 3 times against Kevin Gausman. And an 0-2 count against Hoffman.
He also had to deal with the most borderline low strikes all game that have not gone his way.
Here we go.
To the play, runner takes off from first, a swing and a miss, strike 3. Dodgers get 2 against the pen in the 8th, and Yoshinobu Yamamoto has retired 14 in a row. Could he be headed for yet another complete game? Well, the best network in the game is now the best network in America. Dodgers have a 5-1 lead to the bottom of the 8th inning. Yamamoto pulls in strike 1 on the 9-hitter Andres Gimenez, who's retired 14 in a row. He's coming off the first complete game in the playoffs in 8 years, now eyeing a second in a row. You know, Dave Roberts is in no hurry at all to get that bullpen going. Yamamoto's thrown as many as 113 pitches in a game. A little defensive maneuver behind him. Justin Dean's into the game in center field. That moves Pages over to right. 113 in a game in the big leagues. You go back to his time in Japan. He had a game in the Japan series where he struck out 14, went the distance, and he threw 138 pitches, doing stuff like you guys used to do.
Well, the pitch count's overrated. We've gotten obsessed by it. And that's why it won't matter here tonight. It's all about the rhythm and the fluidity in which he's throwing. And if you see that stress cuts that down, early on stress, but no stress in the last 3 or 4 innings, that's for sure.
His 0-2 pitch. Lays off the high fastball. Now, there's the idea that the pitchers that come from Japan, rigid schedules, they have a lot of asks. But if you give them their structure and their schedule, fouled into the glove, strike 3. They say, look, you give me that, I'm good, you can push me. Run that pitch count as high as you need to. Of 85 pitches, he's got 1 gone in the 8th. And we get a quick word from FanDuel.
Make baseball come alive when you bet live this season with FanDuel.
Here we go, top of the order, one more chance. Springer's 1 for 2.
I laugh every time I hear it, because if that was a scientific data that had a point of eliminating injuries, I'd be all for it. It's actually the worst part of our game where we obsess over pitches, but yet injuries are going through the roof. So you really got to look and use your eyes, and not every number is the same for every pitcher. That's the beauty of it. And yeah, as soon as you see 100 pitches, you're like, oh, he's going to break. Get him out.
How do we decide 100 is the one? Curveball's in there for a strike, and it's 0-2. It was heavy splitter the first few innings. He's almost ditched that pitch, bringing along the rest of the arsenal. Inside with a splitter right there. Here's his 1-2. Strikes out Springer with a fastball. That thing blazing to the top of the zone. Yamamoto's 7.
Four-seamer rising to the top. Again, all 4 quadrants have been thrown to tonight. with 5 and 6 different pitches. So he has taken a great offense. Maybe not early on, but since then, just put him away.
Lucas with 2 out, takes strike 1. Mentioned the last guy to have back-to-back complete games in the postseason, Kurt Schilling in 2001. That was all in the Division Series and the Championship Series. Last guy to have back-to-back complete games, one of them in the World Series, your teammate Tom Glavine in 1992. Here.
Yeah.
And a losing effort.
I was just getting ready to, unfortunately, follow that up with... Those wounds have healed, maybe.
Maybe not.
Maybe not. There's still
1 and 2 on Lucas. Yamamoto, the largest contract ever signed by a pitcher, living up to it. A little smile on his face. The guy hardly sweats. His 1-2 to Lucas. His fastball needs to get him looking. He strikes out the side in the 8th. What a performance. Yoshinobu Yamamoto take a bow in Game 2. The Dodgers 5, the Jays 1. LA's 3 outs away from tying this series up. Yamamoto has kept on rolling. 17 in a row retired. Strikes out the side in the 8th. 8 for the day. No walks. No base runners since the 3rd. 2-0 on Muncie as Braden Fisher takes over for the Jays. The Dodgers, for a lot of this season, fell well below expectations. Coming into the year, there was talk, and justified when you look at the roster, could this be the best team ever? Could they threaten the Mariners' 2001 wins record? Health was a part of it, and to be expected with the oldest roster in baseball. They dealt with a lot of injuries, especially to the rotation. Lineup, though, guys like Muncie missed time, takes a walk here to start the 9th. Tonight we delivered a powerful message as we once again join our partners Stand Up to Cancer, reaffirming a commitment to the fight against cancer. Scan the QR code or visit standuptocancer.org to find out how you can help today. Hernandez squares, bunts it in the air, foul. So again, part of it was health. Part of it was just human nature. They didn't have the consistent edge. The regular season, pretty much a formality for them. And lacked focus at times. Played to the level of their competition. Early September, Dave Roberts pulled the team together when they were in Baltimore. They were on a 4-game losing streak at that point. Looked like they might lose the division to the Padres, who are right on their heels. Muncie takes off on this pop-up into shallow right field. He'll retreat. Barger coming on. Guerrero going out to make the catch. Wow.
Yeah, it's not that easy of a play, and he's located
little Willie Mays-like from his first base spot here. One away for Tommy Edman. Message from Dave Roberts was, look, I know that we're all kind of carrying the baggage of not having lived up to what we thought it would be. But he said, think of it like you do when you get to October, where everybody says, hey, blank slate. Forget about what's happened to this point. New season. He said, drop that baggage. New season starts today. And he said, I'm as guilty as anybody of carrying the frustrations of what has gotten us to this point. But drop it all. Begin anew today. That night, Yamamoto goes out and takes a no-hitter into the 9th inning. 1 out away from a no-hitter. Dave Roberts is like, I'm brilliant. What a perfectly timed speech. Well, he loses the no-hitter with 2 outs, and then they lose that game. Fly to right field for Barger, and 2 out. So worse gets even worse. But the next day, he said they went in there after that gut-wrenching loss, and things just felt lighter. The music was playing again. Guys were joking around. From that day forward, 24-6. Expectations have been heavy. dropped them, forgot about what had gotten to that point, and tried to look at each day like the postseason had already arrived. 2 outs for Paez. Takes high.
Well, in fairness, for most of that season, everything you just said, relevant. They didn't have any starting pitching.
Right.
I mean, they were running guys out there that you didn't even think had an opportunity to be on the roster. So that's part of it. And thankfully, Clayton Kershaw comes back from surgery and kind of does his thing, or I don't know where they would be, because there didn't look like there was going to be much room for him either. So all those injuries to the starting rotation, and then, of course, the bullpen, it was pretty much patchwork until that stretch the last month when everybody kind of got on that roll.
And Dave Roberts said that that's not a coincidence that the meeting came as they were getting healthy. He rarely throws team meetings. He said if I was going to do it, I wanted to time it out right where we were healthy enough to take advantage of the talk and have it close enough to the postseason where it could sustain us right on through, as opposed to a little kick midseason that then loses steam. They've come out of that meeting and that shift in perspective, and it has floated them right through to this World Series. Comes on Paez. Jays have 3, 4, and 5 coming up in the 9th inning, down 4. That man leads off. High fly ball to left center field, but no big deal for Dalton Varsho. To the bottom of the 9th we go. Yoshinobu Yamamoto, complete game against Milwaukee. 3 outs away from doing the same in Toronto.
The ultimate goal of playing baseball is to be the last team standing. That was the goal we showed up to spring training, was a World Series.
That's an expectation we put on the Dodger uniform, is to win the last game of the season.
We've got something special going on here. Hopefully we can do something that hasn't been done in 25 years.
Something special brewing here for Yoshinobu Yamamoto, trying to join the likes of Oral Hershiser to deal back-to-back complete game wins in the postseason. You got to go back to that 1988 epic run from Oral to find the last guy that has done what Yamamoto's trying to do in a Dodger uniform. Did it against the Brewers in the championship series, and almost impossibly is trying to do it against this lineup. This lineup that, coming into the game, had the #1 slugging percentage of any lineup in postseason history. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. leads off. Guerrero singled in the 3rd. Toronto does not have a base runner since. 17 up, 17 down. Has not been a ball out of the infield since the 5th. A card to the knees for strike 1. The splitters tap foul. 0-2.
Well, they say when you're an offense and you're up there and the guy's in rhythm, you got to get him out of the stretch. Well, haven't done that in a while.
It's pretty much constant stress and stretch. First few innings. Got the run on 4 hits over the first 3. And a rocking chair since. And you hold your breath right here if you're Toronto. Fouls this ball off himself and in pain. As he walks it off, gives us a chance to remind you that after the game, the post-game show presented by Strauss comes your way with Kevin Burkhardt, Alex Rodriguez, Big Papi, and Derek Jeter.
I don't want to hear Derek say anything about the University of Michigan tonight.
Oh, they're going to say 96.
Well, that ship has sailed.
That's a long time ago, Derek. Let's take a look at Vlad here. All right, John, you want to talk football?
Let's talk football.
Tomorrow on Fox, NFC East rivalry, Jackson Dart, upstart Giants against the Eagles. Already beat them once. Check our local listings for the game in your area tomorrow on Fox. KB will do the Strauss post game. Head down there to call it. 0-2 on Guerrero. Here comes Yamamoto. He just missed. He found his zone, but it missed his spot. Didn't get the call. Guerrero came into the game 3 strikeouts all postseason. Yamamoto trying to get him for the second time tonight. He says. Sasaki just in case. Curve off the end of the bat. Freeman to first. 1 away in the 9th. You know, it's a franchise with such a rich history. And the pillars of that history are some of the biggest names in pitching that we've ever seen in this sport. I mentioned Old Hershiser. He did it in 1988. In that same era, Fernando Valenzuela. Of course, back to Sandy Koufax and Don Drysdale and Don Sutton, all Hall of Famers. Clayton Kershaw in this era. A strike on Kirk. To do something that stirs up those names, stirs up the biggest names in this franchise's history, you're doing something utterly masterful. And Yoshinobu Yamamoto, that.
How about what he's just doing in this new generation of devaluing starting pitching? It makes it even stand out even more. When you don't see this at all and everybody's so quick to go to the bullpen, to me, it stands out more than the guys you just mentioned when it was more commonplace.
Kirk sends a line drive to center field. Justin Dean is there. 2 gone in the 9th. Well, I've mentioned it several times. It would have been almost a decade since anybody had pitched a complete game in the postseason. Yamamoto out away from doing it back-to-back starts. Standing out like a beautiful sore thumb. Mastery. The word keeps popping up. Mastery. 6 different pitches. A feel for all of them. And a strike on Varsho.
You know what comes to my mind? Don't do the other team a favor. Why? Meaning, if you take him out, you're doing the other team a favor. He's in rhythm. And there's no stress.
0-2 on Varsho. Yamamoto's 6 1/3 in Game 2 of the World Series last year against the Yankees. And it was like, wow, that is deep. He's redefining that, resetting that bar for himself and for everybody else in these playoffs. The 0-2 pitch. The 1-2 pitch. Popped up. Left side. Yamamoto goes the distance again. World Series mastery. Yoshinobu Yamamoto, Game 2 of the World Series against the Blue Jays, has thrown a complete game, retiring the final 20 that he faces. 9 strikeouts, no walks. Simply dazzling.
Told you this is going to be my favorite game that we do in this series, just based on the 2 pitchers and really based on that guy. Man, did he get it done.
And he got these Dodgers into a tied series, 1-1 after the Blue Jays leveled the Dodgers in the first game with 11 runs. Offense looking like an unstoppable force. They're matched tonight, and Yamamoto moves to 3-1 in the postseason. The first guy to throw back-to-back complete games in the postseason, one of them in the World Series since Tom Glavine in 1992. The first Dodger to do it since Oral Hershiser and his MVP 1988. We've seen the pitcher. We've talked about the pitcher. But the guy, the teammates love, one of the favorites down there, acclimated himself so quickly, coming over new country, new language, new schedule.